Your Jam Raid riders last year at the Momentum 947 Cycle Challenge raised 280,000 Rand for charity. That is incredible.
Yeah, so it was a great effort. And look, the more incredible thing than the actual money number is the fact that that means 778 children get fed every single day in South Africa as a result of that.
That is staggering. Well, tell us a little bit about the charity. I know that your folks started it. What is it all about and how did it come about?
Yeah, so the organization started over 30 years ago, and it actually started as a response to an emergency in Mozambique. More than 300,000 people had starved to death in 4 months in the early 1980s in Mozambique. My dad was exposed to that and started an organization to meet the needs of people in Mozambique in that emergency, which has just grown and developed into an organization that operates in 5 countries on the continent. They feed more than 1 million children every single day. Most of those children are in school. So it's not just about feeding the children, it's about providing education conducive environments, building schools, putting water wells in those schools and fixing water problems in communities, training teachers and creating an ability for a long-term sustainability. So, Jam always talks about their red bowl and filling a red bowl, and that's why I say, that fed 778 children. But the reality is it's not just about food. It's actually about providing those children, the children of our continent, the next generation, with the ability to get educated and develop in a way that enables them to maximize their potential, their ability, and turn our continent into the continent that it should be going into the future.
It's an amazing charity for you to have been born into, effectively. I guess after 30 years of raising money and doing this wonderful sub-Saharan project, you must have some fantastic success stories.
Yeah, there are amazing stories. I think of a woman that I met in South Sudan who had lost 2 of her 3 children due to conflict in South Sudan. She had her little baby that she handed to me, and as I took her child from her, the tears just started streaming down her cheeks. And I said to her, "Are you worried your child's going to die?" And she looked at me and said, "You can't understand." She said, "This is my baby. I've lost my other 2 children." And started to explain her story. And yet that child today is still being fed in a program where we've built a school, where we've trained the teachers, where there's ongoing community development being done. And that woman believed in the power of one child. And I think that's the core of Jam, is Jam believes in the power of affecting one life. Because if you can change one life, you've effectively changed the world. And so there's so many of those stories. A lady in Orange Farm here in Johannesburg who was getting a food ration from Jam for her and her family because she was HIV positive and in the late stages of HIV AIDS. And sitting with her halfway through the month, realized that most of the food was gone and asked her, where's the food going? Of course, suspicion, being concerned, maybe she's selling the food or something.
Sure.
She looked at me and she said, "Well, the family next door are not on your program, and the lady of that family is like me. So when you give me what you give me every month, I give half to the family next door."
Wow.
And here I found a woman, a true South African hero, who was prepared to actually give away half of everything she got every month to the family next door because they didn't have. And I think those are the stories, Alex, that make you keep doing this work.
Absolutely.
Because you see the change, you see the impact. And when people say, "Oh, but charity doesn't help. Charity, just creates dependency." It really doesn't if it's done properly. And that's where I say to people, support organizations like Jam because they're professionals at what they do.
Yep.
They are the best of the best.
Absolutely. Wow, I think rather than creating needy people, I think you're creating charitable people.
Yeah.
That's the genuine spirit and spread of Ubuntu, and long may it continue. Congratulations, you are our red jersey wearer for the 2015 Momentum 947 Cycle Challenge. That means you've got to ride again, so you're up for
absolutely.
this.
Absolutely.
So congratulations, man. Isak, you are a legend, and your parents as well, and thank you for this. I know you brought your uncle in as well. Thank you, uncle. It's a whole big family business, but you make us proud to be South African. Thank you, my brother.
Oh, thank you so much.
Also in the studio today, I've got the head of sponsorship from Momentum, Karel Bosman. Karel, welcome back. This is a touching story, isn't it?
Alex, absolutely. What a privilege. This has always been an exciting partnership for us as Momentum with 947, and when we started with this idea a couple of years ago and spoke about riding for a purpose, let's be honest, I think for a lot of cyclists it's about It's about being on the road and cycling for a time and perhaps setting a personal best or whatever the case might be. And we started thinking about riding for a purpose, which really changes that dynamic, because suddenly it's not just about what I'm going to ride for, and my specific goal in the day. It's now about some other purpose. And yes, we've raised incredible funds, and I would love to touch on that just to show how, excuse the pun, but how this have caught momentum. But I also, sorry about that.
I saw what you did there.
But what I want to illustrate as well is we, from the word go, said that Ride for a Purpose is not just about being linked to a registered charity, of which last year we had 197 of those registered charities. But it was about anything. You might have a personal cause of some sort. And for me, I think the definitive moment was 2 years ago. I went out on the route to the different water points, literally just standing around and saying to people, are you enjoying yourself? Are you having fun? And 8 out of 10 people came and said, I want to tell you about the purpose I'm riding for.
Wow.
And some of the people had pictures of other people on their bicycles, and the tears were flowing, and they were talking about it. And that's when I realized this race has forever changed, and it changed for the better. And I think in a time and a day when I think a lot of people might say and feel, sure, there's a lot of negativity, you listen to a story like what Isak have just shared, and you listen to what is happening, and you listen to the good hearts of what people in South Africa have, and then you actually feel a lot more positive about what is being done and what can be done. Now, just to illustrate this, in 2011, 4.51 or around about million was raised. In 2012, it was 6.81. 2013, 12.41. And last year, 14.34 million raised by these charities. And I haven't even spoken about the guys who have just been riding for some purpose, not linked to a specific charity. And I think that is truly special.
It is fabulous. It really is. And it's also, having done it myself, it is a massive incentive to an unfit cyclist who's like going, I can do this thing. It's easy. Really? First headwind and you're in trouble, and you will pedal harder knowing that you are pedaling for those people who are relying on you.
That is a true point. True point, Alex. I mean, that was exactly what a lot of the people that day said. Is they said, I'm tired. I'm a little bit sore, but I'm not going to stop because I'm riding for a purpose and I want to finish this race. And to be honest, and I think you've probably found the same, it's doable,
Yes.
I always say to people on the downhills, you basically just let the pedals go. On the flats, it's not too bad, and it's only the uphills that you need to worry about.
Don't get caught with the electric bike. I'm watching you, Aki Anastasio. I know your type. Okay, well, let's wrap it up then. And how about a nice plug for Jam? Isak, tell us how the folks can go check them out on the web and find out more details.
Yeah, so if people go to jam-international.org, they'll be able to see everything about Jam right there. And, there's multiple ways that they can get engaged. We're often saying to people, share what you can share. Maybe it's your time by cycling in the 947. Maybe it's you being able to make a donation like Gavin Varegis did and actually supported 280,000 Rand donation from one individual who said, I'm not just, the chairman of SALA supporting rugby in the country and rugby legends. I'm not doing all the other things that we do as an organization. I'm going to get behind Momentum 94/7 Cycle Challenge and make a real difference through Jam. And so I encourage people, be like Gavin, be a hero in South Africa and get behind an organization like Jam or any of those other charities. Align with the one that you're most passionate about, and then get out there and cycle to be able to make sure that you raise that support. And so people can also just SMS Jam, JAM, to 42181. So Jam to 42181, and they will donate 30 Rand, which will feed a child for a full month here in South Africa.
It's unbelievable stuff. I can't thank you guys enough. Isak and Carl, thank you for your time this morning. Good luck. See you November 15th, or at least before, as for the Momentum 947 Cycle Challenge 2015. But a reminder, entries close in 18 days. So don't dither. Please take the challenge. Register today at cyclechallenge.co.za.